I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't want to sit in this grass, but I had nowhere else to sit. So today, we gonna figure it out. We gonna figure it out, boo, because that's what we do as people. We figure it out. So today, what do I want to say? I don't have any like place I'm going. I'm just gonna like talk and chit chat about like, you know, things, you know, that I want to chit chat about. Let's see. Today's topic, broadly, like a broad stroke, is the L word. Think about it. It's 4 letters. It starts with an L. Love. Yes, it's, you know, it's not my favorite conversation, but it is one. And I think that as of growing up, right, you know, because, you know, I be seeing like, you know, Married at First Sight and 90 Day Fiance and all these reality dating shows, marriage shows. And some of these people are like 25 and pushing, and I'm 23 now. And obviously it seems like the love conversation is something that we gotta talk about, unfortunately. You know, so that's what we're gonna do today. But I gotta find a spot. Meet me at a spot. I got a vibe. I gotta find a spot in order to do this properly, for me to like rant to you in ways that are comfortable and not chaotic while holding the phone, walking in the park, you know, because we gotta set up the ambiance, we gotta set up the vibe. You feel me? So let me get myself situated, and then we talking about the thing. We talking about the damn thing. You ready? Are you ready? I'm not ready. Yes, I am. Let me stop. I'm ready. Because I love uncomfortable conversations. Sometimes. You know, that help me grow as a person. As a destiny, you know? So, when I have that with my friends, my imaginary friends right now. Good? Okay. Bye. I told you I'm going to stop doing that. Bye. So hello, we are back again. So it is super loud out in the park, you know, as expected, because outside, Destiny, duh. But you know, we here. I found a seat. It's looking very like, how you say, up close and personal, but really not. I think it's giving. You think? I'm gonna try to do this and make this as least as awkward as possible. You know, I'm shy. Again, I'm shy. You know, nothing's worse when you grow up in a community, go to school and everything, and then you possibly could see somebody that you went to school with, and they look at you like, girl, what you doing? And I'm like, girl, I'm living. It just looks unconventional, but we're living, okay? So that's what we're doing today. Now, today's topic, as I mentioned, I recorded something as an intro to preface what I'm talking about, but you know, because we live in a windy city, Chicago, it's so windy while I'm talking, and it's very obnoxious. So I should just introduce this again. I may add it. If I add it, then you know what I'm talking about. Or I fixed it. But if I don't add it, then I'm just going to tell you what we're doing. So, when you wake up one day and you realize, bitch, I'm 23. And then you be like, that's not young, but that's not old either. You feel me? Like, I be seeing these people my age and a little bit older, like a smidgen, like maybe like in the 3-year radius, like 26 downwards to like 23, like finding like soulmates and shit. And I'm like, and then talking about families and 401ks and shit. And I'm like, I don't think I'm there yet, boo. I don't think I'm there yet. And it's kind of like, damn, like, where you be finding these people at? Because I feel like I'm out and about here. I'm out here, girl. And I'm like, well, I know I'm 23 and I know I'm supposed to be doing, you know, all this, at least think about my future, you know? But it's kind of hard when you feel like the love dating pool here is like so like shot. Like it's like nobody here, right? And then you feel like, well, damn, there's so much pressure to try to like figure that shit out when you really don't know what to figure out. And then like love is just such an obnoxious thing, right? Because literally you're not supposed to put work in it, but you're supposed to put work in it. You're not supposed to worry about it, but you're supposed to worry about it. You're supposed to let it come to you, but you're not supposed to let it come to you. It's like all these oxymorons. And I'm like, okay, we love that for me. We love that for me. It's just very, how you say, confusing, because it's like, what are you supposed to do then? Because as like, you know, a recovering control freak, as you could say, I want to control the situation, right? And that's why my love life has been so how you say not good, because I try to control the situation, because I'm like, you know, I want it, I like it, I bought it. Like it's like that type. It's like that Ariana Grande mindset. Like what? How she say? My wrist is here. I got it. I see it. I want it. You get the point. Like when I see something, I see someone. They stop calling something. You know, they're not materials. But like when I see like someone I like, it's kind of like overkill, because I'm like, well, I see it, I want it, and I work hard to obtain it. And when you control things, it doesn't work out, right? At least it's not supposed to, because in love, it seems like that's the one place you can't control a narrative and try to make it work out, which is so confusing. It's like, so like, okay, so what I'm supposed to do? Because everywhere else it's like work hard, and then you obtain it. But in love, it's like work less and get it. And that mentality, that mindset is very confusing to understand for me. But it's like I have no choice but to understand it. I have no choice. So it's like, okay, well, that's where we're at right now. I think as people, right, we look at everything as work or as a job, right? So if we give 110% at a job, we are expected to give 110% in a relationship, and then make it work and all these things like that, etc., etc. And it's like, but a relationship is not like that, you know? And so I'm like finding like, okay, like I would like to meet someone, correct? But it's like, as a person, you have to unlearn all those nuances to life that the world equates. Like, I think I want to do something here, but I'm trying to tweeze it out, you know. I'm trying to pluck the eyebrow hairs of the situation of it. Okay, bear with me. With life, especially in America, I would say America, right? But broadly now the whole world, because of like globalization and such, we think of everything as work. We think of everything as consumerism, right? And I think relationships as a whole have been suffering, or at least like our understanding about what a relationship can be, because we look at it as a market of consumerization, right? Putting money into it, helping it grow, and then looking at the transactional benefits of having a relationship more so than the loving aspects of a relationship. Like, everybody is like worrying about, now everyone, we have to speak in generalities in this conversation, right? Just to not overcomplicate things. But let's say most people, right, look for a relationship in a way of transactional love, right? Like, what could I get from you? Like, like, how are you going to make my life better? How are you going to further my life? How are you going to give me a higher trajectory? Such and such, right? And I think that as a person, especially why a lot of like the situational things that I found myself in didn't work is because the people I was trying to go for looked at relationships differently than I did, right? I'm a person who's like hopeless romantic, right? And I'm I'm a giver in all ways, right? The people that I was interested in always looked to me as like, what could you do for me? Like, what could you do for me? Why are you it? Like, why are you the girl I should be with, right? And that understanding towards relationships is very damning, because it's not just about what someone could do for you, it's about how someone makes you feel. And if the only thing that we as people understand relationships to be is what could you do for me, then you're never going to be able to open up to that person in terms of love. And honestly, I think that as young people, like at the age range we're in, very few want love for love. They want love for security. But not only just security in terms of like money, but security in terms of, the sexual benefit a lot of the times. Like, I think as people, we've equated safety in terms of sexual capabilities. So I feel safe with you because you make me feel safe in that situation, but everywhere else you make me feel unsafe. And that's something I don't want, correct? It's like, I don't want somebody who just makes me feel safe in one way. I want someone to make me feel safe and heard and loved in all ways. I think that understanding should be the transactional aspect to relationships, more so than the consumer money type of thing, right? Because I think we have consumerism all wrong. Like, what we consume, right, it just cannot be just materials and nice things, right? As people, we need to learn how to consume love in a way that's healthy. Sex in a way that's healthy. And that's where I'm at right now. And so it just puts me in a sticky situation, because I'm like, well, I mean, a lot of people, honestly, like a lot of people in a sticky situation because you don't know what to look for, right? Because this whole world tells you not to worry about love, not to control love. Your preferences matter, but they don't matter. Because honestly, like, you could just get with anyone. Like, you don't know who you're meant to be with. That's how uncontrollable situation love is. You can't control it because you don't even know who you may end up with, and you don't even know who's your real soulmate, honestly, or your soul people, right? Like, and that's like another conversation another day, about how our preferences sometimes limit us from really getting to know a person that may be for us, but because our preferences are so at the forefront of our happiness, we're unable to care for people who don't look the way we want, or make the money that we want, or drive the car that we want. And all these things are consumeristic entities. Car, house, looks is not all just you're born with it. A lot of times now with the consumer market of beauty, buying makeup, hair, plastic surgery, all of that is as a consumerist market. And relationships have a harder time working, right? Because we look at a relationship as a business. We look at it as, well, are you worth to be invested in? Let's look at your body. Is your body an investment for me? Is your funds an investment for me? Is it going to have a proper return rate in the next 10 years? How are our kids going to look? Are they going to be profitable kids? Are they going to be kids who could play on a basketball team? Are they going to be kids who can model? Are they going to be kids who can be medical practice XYZ? Are they lawyers? Like everything is about the return rate. And thinking about that aspect of love just makes me like not interested. Because if that's all we're dating for, possibly procreating for, that's not a loving situation. It's like you could love the person or be infatuated with how they look, right? You could love what they do for you. You could love the stability they bring to your life in many ways. But the aspect of really loving that person in and out is very fragile, because we're looking at people as like a business proposal. Like during that dating range, right? We're looking at you as like, okay, why are you important? And then by one date, we understand, oh, you're not the one for me. By one text message thread, you could tell that you're not the one for me. And it's just like, I think we have the idea of dating incorrect. It's like, what can I get out of this person? Why is this person a catch? And I understand it's necessary to pick out people who are good people and who are not like quote unquote weird, give you weird vibes or all that shit like that. But the last thing I'm looking for is just somebody who I can have kids with, a house with, but I'm not in love with, because they're boring. Honestly, the thing about it is dating is so boring. It's so boring. Everybody is just, not generalities, Destiny, be professional. Most people are just looking for you to see what could you do? Are you gonna work? Are you gonna clean the house? Are you gonna cook? Or are you gonna, how many kids you gonna have? It's just so that's what I'm saying. As a recovering control freak, and it's seeing how much people control the idea of dating. It's ew. It's now what? I am so over all these people talking about preferences and their type and high vibration, no, wrong word, high value man, high value woman. I'm so tired of it, because now we're just making relationships like business transactions. We're just looking at people's value in terms of their looks and in terms of their job, but nothing else. Nothing else. So then when I be seeing people my age with somebody, or people in my age range finding people to spend the rest of their life with, I'm so where are these people at? Because that's what I want to find. I want to be able to to be with somebody who is just not going to be claiming that they're a high value man and thus I should be with them. And it's just it's just so toxic. It's who wants to be with that? Who wants to be reminded every day that this person's of value because they make money? or have like a decent sex game. That's like so like lame. It's so lame. If I wanted that, I mean, I guess I'll be taken that by now, right? If I wanted that, I'll be taken by now. But because I don't want that, and I'm actively protesting against that mindset and that way of dating people, that's why I'm just single right now and chilling, because I just refuse to just settle for somebody who just wants to throw their money in my face. Their money in my face, correct? Like, who wants that? Yeah, you hear the rappers talking about, yeah, get your bag, get your man, da, 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 da. And I'm like, yeah, getting your bag is important, right? Making money is important. Looking your best is important. But it's not all what dating is. That's not all what love is. That's not all what marriage is. That's not all what long-term commitments are. That's just not it. And I don't think we understand that. I just understand why we don't understand that. I don't understand why it's so difficult to understand that whatever we're doing right now, okay, let's be frank, whatever the mechanisms we are dating as is not working. It's not working. And again, I'm a person who believes if it's not working, change it. And as a whole generation, we need to change the ways in which we court people, the ways in which we give people opportunities. And everyone blames it on social media, and everyone blames it on dating websites, and like, I'm not uptight like that. Like, some people be finding relationships on there, cool. But the thing about it is, what's the culture on those dating websites? You see? The culture needs to be changed, not the websites. The culture. Because as young people, we have become very accustomed to this hustle culture. Get the bag, get the man, get the chick with the bag, get the girl with the looks, get the man with the money. And they have no emotional intelligence. They have no idea how to love you. They have no idea how to love themselves. Yet they are still high value because they make money and they look good. Let's just think about that. Let's just think about that. You know, like, I chose violence this morning. And I just want to talk about it because it just makes no sense. It makes no sense, and that's why people are so, the saying of like hurt people, like, that's for real. Like, we are with people who are hurt, thus they hurt us, and then that's why our culture is so set on healing, because everybody seems unhealed. And if that's the case, then who are we gonna build with if everyone around us seems like they can't process their pain in healthy ways? Not through substances, not through being a workaholic, not through materialism. It's harder. It's easier said than done, of course. But it's like, damn. Like, that's why when people say, like, mental health needs to be the forefront of our health system, and that needs to be in conversation more often. That truck sounds like an airplane. No capping. Anyways, when we say that, it's necessary, because a healthy mind is at the forefront of everything. It's at the forefront of what career you choose, how well you're able to produce in this world, because this world is based on production and how much you can produce, right? It's real quintessential when it comes to relationships, and how are you able to give to not only just a romantic partner, but a family member, a sibling, even a child. That's what we're talking about. And if the latter of people are not emotionally healed, then we're not going to be able to produce healing, strong, stand the test of time relationships. And there's some people who are able to heal through people, right? Heal through relationships, right? But that's an outlier to the larger issue at hand, is that people are not able to process feelings in a healthy way. Thus, when they get in relationships, it's extremely codependent. And that's when the consumerism thing just starts going overdrive. Extremely codependent. Borderline toxic, because you're pretty much shitting on the person that you're supposed to be in love with because you're angry at other things that they don't have a part of, but because they're the nearest and closest thing to you, these people are gonna lashing out. And I've been in a situation like that, and it's like, damn. And then what you do, you create a soul tie with this person from that pain, and then you are once happy person who doesn't feel hurt at all. But then when you're with this person, and the aftermath of not being with that person or trying to talk to that person or understand that person, then you're messed up for X amount of years until you're able to process that healing and understand where that pain came from. It's that soul tie you have towards that person, because that person wasn't healed, and because of that, you took on their pain. You're the closest person in proximity to their pain, and you took on all of it just because you love them or believe you love them, and in that way, right? And especially it's like people who are like givers, like me, like who really want to make everyone happy, who really wants to try so hard. That's a reality. So it's not easy, you know. It really isn't easy. So thinking about like love, it just like baffles me as a concept, because I'm like, where is it? Where is it? You know? And when will it find me? Because the thing about it is that as people, we can't go out and seeking it, right? Because when we seek it, sometimes it doesn't work out the way we want it to. So now I'm in a mindset of, so when would it find me, right? Now love's all around me in terms of family and people I care about, right? But in terms of like that romantic love that a lot of people do crave, you know? Some people don't crave it, but a lot of people do. It's like you're getting older and you're looking at the people around you, and you're looking at like, okay, so there's a biological clock I'm under, whatever, all these things that they put on women to be like, to kind of like rush their process to have women, have children, and you know, it's like all this pressure, especially for a woman to find someone, right? But I changed my mindset a long time ago, and I'm like, okay, so when are you gonna find me, right? Because right now, as it stands, I'm the prize, you know, because I don't know anything else, right? I'm the prize in the situation. I know I am the one they need to find, right? Because I'm not going out and looking for a man right now, because I used to do that, and that was painful. And looking for a man will always make you feel low, because there's just something about it. It's just like, at this point, like, I'm not choosing any man until they prove themselves to me in a way that I will want to choose them, right? And this comes through a lot of healing, because I cannot just choose anyone, right? I cannot just choose anyone at this point, because at this point I did all that healing, and I'm not trying to go through the same path and cycle to be with the same type of guy. So we're trying to figure this out, honey. We're trying to figure this out. Now, you know, I'm not really worrying about a specific person or specific people. I'm just talking about the fact that I'm bettering myself and understanding the concept I understand within the love game, so that when this soulmate person, man, you know, the one comes, you know, you know, I'm not gonna fuck it up, you know, and I have the foresight to see if they will, because I've been in situations where it was like doomed from the start. But I stayed there. Thinking it was gonna evolve and change, but it took me some long ass time, honey. It was painful. We love that Ruby. Anyways, so yeah, I just want to talk about it. I'm gonna talk about this conversation again because I have a lot to rant about it. But yeah, that's that. This is just so like lo-fi. Like I'm outside talking to a phone, but nobody looking at me though. So I think we're doing better at this. I think we're doing it better. To feel better than this. This video didn't have any really like any punchlines of jokes today. I don't know. I'm not oh my god, I can't speak ever. I'm not in a silly goofy mood today. But am I? Yeah. I'll probably be after I'm done with this convo. Cause I'm always in a silly goofy mood after I get out the meat and potatoes of the situation. Yeah. But yeah, I'm a long-winded person because I don't talk often, right? I don't really speak often. So when I do speak, it's like I have to get it all out. So I don't put limits on my vids. I don't put limits on what I have to say, because if it's meant for you, it's meant for you. If it's not, it's not, and that's it. That's how I'm going to be able to. I'm going to be authentic. If I ever make anything out of myself through this YouTube shenanigans, this YouTube ocean, I'm going to do it my way. It's not going to be through no algorithm. It's not going to be through no thumbnail or no length of video or attention. No. If y'all rock with me, if anyone rocks for me, or anyone finds this, that's what's going to be. I'm going to be myself. That's it. And that's how it should be. Everyone should be themselves. There's no blueprint to be it. There's no blueprint to be a hot girl, okay? There's no blueprint to be a hot boy or a hot person. This is it. You, and that's it. Okay. Well, thanks talking to me. Yeah. Now I'm gonna go home and do what? Watch The Summer I Turned Pretty. And then then I bet you once I finish that, then I'm really gonna talk about love. I'm really gonna talk about it. So just gear up, I'm gonna be like the better version of Derek Jackson. Okay, bye. I was gonna do this, but I'm like, y'all gonna read my palms. Okay, bye.